Tech house is one of the most popular genres right now. It's a style of electronic music that is super infectious and DJs are playing it to thousands across the world. Usually I make trap or drill beats, but I'm also a huge fan of electronic music and I've been drifting into that world lately. This year I even got to DJ at a festival. But most of the stuff I made before was more like house, more of like a chill vibe. So today we're gonna change that. We're gonna see what happens when a trap producer makes tech house for the first time. Woo! From scratch. Let's go. All right, so first question is, what is tech house?
It's a combination between groovy drums at around 125 BPM with a steady kick hitting on every bar, open hats on the offbeat, claps on every second. It's driven by a really solid bass line. Of course, you can spice it up with vocals, lead sounds.
When did it start getting popular and who started to bring it to the mainstream?
Around the 90s, and it's been slowly getting more popular. The popularity fell off a bit and right now it's really booming.
Who would you say is like the top guys in tech house right now? Who do I need to check out?
Well, of course, James Hype. With all his hits.
I know you kind of said it already. What do I need to focus on to make really good tech house beats?
Well, first you need to focus on the basics, like the kick on every hit, clap on every second, hi-hat on every offbeat.
All right, I've gone through, I've immersed myself in tech house. These past few days, I've been listening to a lot of different music from James Hype to Fisher, and I think I have a good idea of how to go about this. I think it starts with the idea. You want to have like some catchy vocals, but then also you need like a really, really nice bass line to go with it. And then it's kind of minimal, have a good group with the drums, and should be all good to go. I'm excited, man. Let's see what we can create. I think it'll be a cool idea to try and turn Jack Harlow's new song, Lovin' On Me, into a tech house track, like a remix. I'm gonna go online and try and find the acapella. I found the original song from which Jack Harlow sampled. It's called Whatever. It sounds like this. First things first, let's just change the BPM to 125. I think that's like a nice BPM.
Whatever you wanna do, I am uninhibited when it comes to loving you. Now I don't like no.
Right there is the sample. Let's just go ahead and chop that.
I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down.
So that's the part right there, but in Jack Harlow's song, they've pitched it up about 2 semitones. For the second part, I want to keep it as the original, but for the first part, let's kind of keep it quite similar to in the Jack Harlow song.
Baby, you're loving on me, baby.
Let me repeat that over.
Baby, you're loving on me.
I think it'll sound good if it was more like me, right at the end.
Baby, you're loving on me, baby.
That sounds cool. I like that so far. That's a good vocal chop. I'm gonna come back to that. Let's add in the drums. First things first, we're gonna need that with the kick. Every other beat, we're gonna need a clap. So it's like doom, clap, doom, clap. I got this folder of like random sounds that I've cut from tracks that I like, and there's this clap that I think is gonna work perfectly. And then now on the offbeat, we're gonna need a tss, tss, tss. I think my open hats might be a bit too swung, so what I'm gonna do, just control everything, quantize it, and then I'm gonna zoom in and just ever so slightly take it off the grid so it just grooves a bit better. Let's layer that open hat with the second one now. So I'm just gonna drag that down. The first one I'll pan slightly to the left, and then also I'm just gonna take out some of that low end. Now, we've got the foundation there sounding good, just a simple boom, clap, tss, tss, tss. But we need to make this groove a little bit more, so I'm gonna add in some perks. Perfect. Now I do like how I've swung it, but again, what I'm gonna do is just quantize it, and I'm gonna use this swing button right here in Logic Pro X, and that's gonna take it off grid. Oh, that's sounding sick. Towards the end of the first bit, I'm gonna add this bongo in. I'm almost like a triplet effect. So I want it to come in like da 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 da. I don't feel like it would be complete without a crash sound right in the beginning. So I'm gonna add one right on the first beat. And then also I'm gonna add one right at the end as like a build up once again. The drums are sounding nice and full so far, but I wanna add in one more thing. I feel like a perk loop or something just sitting underneath this is gonna glue everything really nicely together. Jeez, this one is sounding crazy now. Now we need that groovy bass line. I want to try and follow the bass line on Lovin' On Me as much as possible, but just spin it in a different way just so it kind of vibes with this track. I got this really nice deep bass pulled up from Serum. Let's record it in. Perfect. What I'm gonna do is just quantize it. I'm gonna repeat it over one time, join them up together, and then just in that last bit, I'm just gonna change the note pattern a bit. All the elements is there for the track now. We just need to arrange it and structure it in a way that there's some drops and things are interesting as we continue through. Let's go ahead and do that. I think for the first part, I'd probably just keep in like the claps and the opens.
I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down, but you can whip your
And the
lovin'
vocal.
on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me, baby.
And then maybe like a riser or something. We'll go from at the end of this phrasing, riser, and then the drop. But maybe as well, what I'm gonna do is just like a fast clap right there.
You can't tie me down, but you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Round and round and round.
I finished up the track and I ended up adding so much more stuff to it. I've probably sat here for like the last hour just like touching it up, added in little effects and stuff, just giving it sweet air candy and that. If we look through the projects, we've got like 30 tracks now and a lot of automations going on. Like it's a lot more complex than I thought it was gonna be. But this is how it sounds now and I'm telling you, this one right here is a vibe. I would love to hear this played out.
I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down.
Turn it up.
But you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me, baby. I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me, baby. I don't like no whips and
Hey, fire.
but you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me, baby. I don't like no whips and chains and you can't tie me down. Whip your lovin' on me, baby. Round and round and round.
Crazy. And when the perks come in now, oh man, that bounce right there, insane. This one is such a vibe. I think I got a good idea of how to make tech house now. So for this next one, I do want to put a bit more like of my kind of style into it, not just like a typical tech house track, but more so of like kind of my elements, what I would do with the track, my own twist on it. This time I'm also going to take Gunna's song, Fuck You Mean. I feel like this would just slap on a tech house track, so let's try that. I've got the vocals pulled up here.
Young girl, no one that back calling me splurge. Drop me jump right out the curb.
Let's just speed it up a little bit. I think like 128 BPM this time for a faster track. And the thing is with this one, I didn't get like the cleanest acapella. I couldn't find like a really nice one. So I'm just gonna have to EQ out
Make this right fly like a bird.
some of the parts.
Spin on the first and the third.
And then I'm also gonna use NS1 by Waves to try and take out some more of that background noise.
Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my
Let's slap a bit of reverb on that too.
equal on what you heard. Crack up the foreign, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purr.
And I think it would sound really cool if we echoed it a little bit too. So I'm gonna add in this plugin called H Delay and I'm gonna turn it right down because this one is a bit nuts sometimes. Turn the feedback down to like almost 0.
Make this right fly like a bird.
All right, so I'm gonna take that and that's gonna be like the foundation of the beat for sure. That's gonna be going throughout, especially that first part. Now let's get the unts going. And we'll just repeat that over. I'm gonna go ahead straight in, add in the bass. Definitely want an 808 for this one. Oh my days, that bass is sounding insane. Now let's just repeat that over. That's kind of just be going through the whole song.
Drop me jump right out the curb.
Now just to make that slap even more, first things first, we need to add in that kick start once again, just to sidechain it to the kick.
Young girl, no one that back calling me splurge.
Also just want to add in a bit of distortion.
Young girl, no one that back calling me splurge. Drop me jump right out the
I got this open hat ride kind of sound, so I'm just gonna put that in on the off beat.
Young girl, no one that back calling me splurge.
I also got this hi-hat sound. It sounds like a trappy kind of hi-hat almost, but I think it can work just to give it a bit more groove. All right, that's sounding nice. Let's add in some claps now. I think we need to layer that clap though. It just sounds a bit too punchy through. So I ended up with 5 claps and they're all stacked together. Some are panned to the left, some to the right, and some are just slightly off the grid. So they're really crunchy. So let's just group these. I've selected them all. Create track stack, so they're all going to send to the same bus. Let's just name this clap. And then what I'm going to do as well is just take out again some of that low. In the next part with the vocals, it goes, you can hear that breathing in the background. It's like, so I'm going to have that repeat, but I think also I want to just put the breaths underneath it as well. Got a second breath there, pan to the right. I want to add in some rides. I'm going to add in some chords as we progress. So I'm just going to quantize that, but I want it to come on more like an offbeat there. I need to add in some filter on it. So it's just going to kind of dip towards the end. Let's see how it sounds with an echo. Oh, I like that, the dotted one. I'm not gonna lie, I did like that dotted echo on it. Let me just hear how that sounds. 2 echoes, I mean, there's no rules. Let's see what happens. This one is shaping up so nicely. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a banger. All right, finish up this track. This one right here is an absolute slapper. It's a banger. I put a lot into this. If you can see, I ended up going back in and there's like 40 tracks. Whenever I make trap beats, it's not as complex as this. It's a lot more simple. But here, there's a lot more going on, a lot more sounds, a lot more switch ups. Even in the automation, there's stuff happening throughout. So I like this one so much, I'm gonna drop it on SoundCloud. If you wanna hear the full version, check it out. But let's go ahead and play this one. Yeah. Yeah. I need to play this out, man. I need to hear this on some decks. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna skip to the part where there's like this crazy drop and there's a switch up. Build up nuts. This one right here is insane. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's so much fun making new genres. Making tech house was super, super fun. Definitely want to check out some more electronic genres. If there's any other ones that you want me to try for the first time, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out this one right here where I learned how to make amapiano for the first time and I made 2 crazy vibes.